India is now independent, isn't it? Yes. Is India independent from the sun? Are the Indians, are they independent from food? Are they independent from the vitamin M? Anybody knows what is vitamin M? Money. Are we independent? We are always independent. It's just what we are dependent on. I'm seeing over here they are flying with kites. So I was sitting there seeing the children trying to get the kites flying. Unfortunately, there's not so much wind today. But they're not trying to get the kites flying. And when they go up very high, there's no more line. So then we could think, let me just cut the line. And the kite will be free. The kite will be independent. What will happen? Will it go high or will it fall down? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhuktaram Yakya Tabasam Sarva Loka Mahishwaram Surirak Sarva Kyatanam Surirak Santim Richchati Richchati. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that one who really wants freedom, one who really wants independence, there's only one way of getting it. Understanding that Krishna is Bhuktaram. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the beneficiary of all activities and all austerities. Bhuktaram Yakya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He's the Lord of all the planets. He's not India Nath. He's called Jagannath. He's the Lord of the whole universe, of the Jagat. So India, Hare Krishna. So unless we come to this understanding that Krishna is really Bhuktaram Yagyatavasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He's the supreme controller of all the planets, all the universes. Suridak Sarva Bhutanam. He's the best well-wishing friend of all living entities. The Supreme Lord loves each and every one of us so much that we cannot even imagine. The only thing Krishna is asking in return is that we show a little affection towards Him for all the gifts He is giving us, our independence, the sun every day, the food we eat every day, the money, where's it all coming from? Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is giving everything. So that's all He asks. Simply show a little gratitude for all that I'm giving you. And when He says, Santim Richchati, then you can attain real peace. That's the formula for real success. That's the formula of happiness. There was once a man, he called his wife and said, in 2 hours I will bring home my boss and 2 very, very important business colleges. And you should have a feast prepared. Cook a lot of samosas and halava and pakoras, and so everybody will enjoy, so that I will get this contract. And the wife became completely in despair. She was, how will I be able to do this in 2 hours? So she ran to the kitchen and she started cooking. And all of a sudden, the little child started crying. So she ran and she caressed the child and tried to stop him from crying. And she went back to the kitchen and cooking again. A little time later, the child started crying again. So she called her older son, 6-year-old son, and says, go and buy a toy for the child. Go and buy a toy for the baby. So you can go and buy a jingle. So the little child, he runs everything he can. And he goes and he buys a little jingle. So he comes back to the baby and he gives him the jingle. And then the baby is in ecstasy. He's so happy lying there, hitting the jingle and makes this nice sound. So he's enjoying life, and mother can cook. But after some time, as anything else in this material world, it becomes boring. And the child starts crying again. So then the mother again calls the big child and says, you go and give this little sweet to our baby. So he gets sweets, and then he's happy for a while. But again, after some time, he starts crying. And the mother just ignores him because he needs to get this feast finished. So she just ignores him. But as the child gets more and more angry, he starts screaming. Many of you are parents, I can see. You have the full realization of this, I'm sure. See, there's different kind of knowledge. There's what we call knowledge, and then there's this that's called realized knowledge. That's called Gyan and Vigyan. So Vigyan is if you really know from the bottom of your heart what's it like. So many parents here, they will agree to this. So again the child starts screaming and the mother, she's come running to the child. So this is actually what happens to us. Sometimes when we are in problems, we call out to Krishna, please help me. How many of you have read Mahabharata? How many? Many, huh? So once when Draupadi, she was trying to be disrobed in the assembly, you know, Duryodhana, he tried to disrobe her in the assembly for all the great sages. And she was completely in despair. She was holding on to her saya and screaming, help! And she's trying to fight Dushashan, but he couldn't, because he was much more powerful than her. So what did she do? At the end, she took up her arms, let go of her sari, and in complete surrender, she called out to the Lord, Krishna, oh Govinda, save me! And then Krishna supplied unlimited sari. See, we often, maybe we take it as fairy tales, but this is real. See, there's nothing Krishna cannot do. This is what God really means. God means the supreme person who is all attractive, who have all capabilities. We know the word Bhagavan. Bhagavan means the one who has all opulences. He's the most beautiful person, he's the richest person, he's the strongest person, he's the most renounced person, he's the most famous person. He has everything in full, and we have it in very little degree. So when we are calling for Krishna in despair, Krishna says, okay, I'll come. But first, you know, you have this computer. You can go and work a little on computer. That will make you feel nice. Or you can go for a drive in your car. Or you can enjoy the television. Or, you know, you have the vitamin N. You can go and have some fun in town. Go and enjoy. So often we do that. And then again we get distressed. And then again we call out to Krishna. And Krishna is saying, but you have all these toys. Please enjoy yourself. So only when we come to the point, like this little child, where he was completely eager to have his mother coming. Nothing could satisfy him, no jingle, no sweets, nothing could satisfy him, except if his mother would come. This is how we should call for Krishna. This was actually what we just did. When we are singing Krishna's names, we are directly calling from the Lord, for the Lord. Please come, be part of my life. Let me realize you, let me understand what I'm actually missing out with not feeling supreme love, with not feeling undaunted supreme happiness. Let me try to experience this. And the only thing we need to do is call out from the bottom of our heart, like Draupadi was doing, oh Govinda, please save me! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's actually all we need to do. But we need to do it with love, priti. If there's no love, Krishna says, Chesham satata yuktanam vatyatam priti purvakam, tatami puriyogam tam yenamam upayantite. To those who are completely devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So this is what human life is meant for. Human life is not meant for being dependent on money. Human life is not meant for being dependent upon our senses or mind. For a little flickering happiness, chapala sukha, just a little flickering happiness that is not real. See, everything we experience in this material world has a beginning and an end. It has a beginning and an end. Like a dream. We can dream at night that we are a king in a palace, but in the morning when we wake up, we again have to go back to the factory or the office. Or we can have a nightmare. We have been chased by a tiger running through the jungle, and this tiger is running and coming closer and closer. And we are terrified, we are scared like anything. And the branches of the trees are cutting our arms. And we are running, everything, we just need to get away, and there's no more sound, and we know the tiger is in the air. And then we feel this pain when it's bite itself into our neck and break our neck. Then we wake up in our bed. We are completely wet by sweat. Our heart is pumping. It was completely real in the dream. But after some time, we go take a glass of water. After some time, we understood it was only a dream. Everything we are trying to do in this material world, this temporary world, is like building castles in the sand. Right? We can build a castle in the sand, but after some time, when the water comes, the castle is destroyed. There's nothing here that is real, really real, meaning that it's eternal. But we, the living entity, the soul, is by nature eternal. The way we really realize this, the way we understand that, is by chanting Krishna's names. So this is your heritage. This is really you're the land of Dharma. You're the land of real knowledge. When the British came, they were looking for the fountain of youth, right? They were looking for the fountain of youth, but they found so much wealth, so much gold, so much silk, so many merchandise they found. But they didn't find the fountain of youth. But it's there. But it's just hidden in the Sanskrit codes. It's hidden in the Sanskrit language, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And now I'm being asked to stop. So I will end with this. In Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it says clearly that simply by chanting Krishna's name, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, Kala Nashtiva, 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 Gati Anyata. That there's no other process that will bring us love of God. And this is really what we're looking for. We are not looking for independence. We are looking for dependence, but dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So please sing with me for the last time. From your heart, sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have a temple in Vandalism. Most of you have these invitations. So I hope to see you there soon. Hare Krishna.
Ja.